Rolex prices are going up across the board. About a week ago, that was the big news headline, and it didn't exactly come as a surprise. Rolex hasn't done an across-the-board price increase in quite a while. Not since 2012, if I'm not mistaken, and given the demand for their watches and the prices that they've been selling for on the secondary market, I don't think anyone was shocked to see the suggested retail prices increase this year. Now for me, two things came to mind when hearing this news, and it's two things which I haven't seen discussed enough. Number one, how much exactly are the prices changing on each specific model, specifically popular models, and what does this mean for the brand moving into 2020? What's up YouTube, I'm Guy, and today we are going to be discussing the Rolex price increase. We're going to look at a half dozen or so specific models and see how much exactly the prices have been changed or adjusted, and I'd like to share my thoughts on how I think the price changes might predict what Rolex plans to do vis-a-vis new releases in the short term. But before we jump into that, a quick word about today's video sponsor.
Wrist Candy Watch Club offers NATO and traditional straps in nylon, perlon, leather, and canvas. They use a soft, comfortable, and durable nylon on their NATO straps, and their perlon straps feature braided nylon with a size-adjustable buckle to fit any wrist. Visit wristcandywatchclub.com to view their collection and leave a comment below with the hashtag WCW to enter this month's free strap giveaway.
So I've seen this topic covered in several places, and it's been reported that the price increase would be an estimated 7% on average. But what I wanted to know was, what kind of increases will we see on specific popular models? Well, I went ahead and I dug up the pre-2020 prices on 7 different models, and I compared those prices to the new current prices. And the differences are actually less than the 7% average. Of course, the watches that I'm interested in looking at are all going to be stainless steel models, and of course, they are some of the more popular sports models. But first, let's take a look at 2 watches in stainless steel that guys have been gravitating towards this past year, both because they are great watches, but also because some of the other options that we all love are nearly impossible to buy. Those models are the Oyster Perpetual and the Datejust. The Oyster Perpetual 116000 had a price of $5,400, and that price has been unchanged. It still sits at the $5,400 mark as of today. It was and will continue to be one of the most affordable models in the Rolex catalog, and it's one that I personally like a lot. The next one is the Datejust 126234 in stainless, and it did have a price increase. It went from $8,200 up to $8,550, a difference of about $350 or an increase of 4.25%, roughly. Not a huge price jump, but this wasn't exactly one of the hot models going into the new year. I was a bit surprised to see that, like the Oyster Perpetual, this one didn't stay unchanged. So what about sports models, the watches that have been in high demand for the past several years? Well, this one is a bit of a surprise to me. The Explorer Reference 214270 hasn't moved up in price, and it sits at the same number as before, $6,550. I would have expected that it would jump up from that price, as well as all of the other sports watches in the Rolex lineup, but no, it hasn't changed. Both the Submariner and the Submariner Date in stainless steel saw an increase in price. The no-date Submariner, reference 114060, jumped from $7,500 to $7,900, a difference of $400 or about 5.33%. The Submariner Date increased from $8,550 to $8,950, a difference of $450 or about 4.67%. Now it's interesting that the relative price of the no-date model went up more than the Submariner Date. It's probably just to structure the prices at a more attractive level. For example, I'd guess that they want to keep the Submariner Date under that $9,000 price point. Next up is the Gmt Master-Pepsi Reference 126710BLRO, which increased from $9,250 up to $9,700, a difference of about $450 or 4.86%. Now, like a lot of you guys, I have been waiting for one of these from my authorized dealer for about 2 years, and it looks like the lack of availability is going to cost us a few bucks if we ever do get the call. Last but not least is the stainless steel ceramic Daytona, reference number 116500LN, which saw the biggest increase of the 7 models that we've looked at today. The original price was $12,400, and it now comes in at $13,150, an increase of about $750 or just over 6% total. First, I'm honestly surprised that the increase wasn't more given how much they sell for on the secondhand and gray market, I'd have expected this to go up by 10% at a minimum. Secondly, I'm a little surprised that the total increase is just 6%, since everyone's reported that the average estimated increase across the board was 7%. If that figure is accurate and was in fact the average, I'd have to guess that some of the models I didn't look at, probably precious metal models, have had some pretty significant increases. Overall, nothing too out of line and probably nothing to worry about. If you were in the market for any of these watches before, the odds are that you won't suddenly pull out of the market just because of a few $100s in price increases. For current owners, these increases help maintain the value of their watches, so I'm sure a lot of you guys are actually happy about this as well. And Rolex was probably due to have an across-the-board price increase anyway. If I'm not mistaken, the last one happened in 2012, and the market and the economy has changed a lot in that time. So again, it's not really a surprise. Now, what do I think this means in the short term for Rolex releases, and specifically the one that everyone seems to be waiting for, a new Submariner model? I think that this all but guarantees that there will not be a new model Submariner this year, at least not in stainless steel. Usually when a new model comes out, it also comes with an increase in price, and I can't imagine Rolex raising the Submariner price in January and then raising the price again a few months later. Someone will probably make the argument they just raised the price in advance of a new model. It could still come out this year, and yeah, maybe. But if we're talking about a completely redesigned and updated model, I really doubt it. I could see an update to the new movement with no other major changes, but that's about it, and honestly, I don't think that that's going to happen this year either. I think a rollout of a new Submariner, if it features major design updates, will come first in an expensive precious metal version and slowly trickle down to stainless steel models over the subsequent few years leading up to that 70th year anniversary. So if you're holding out for a new stainless steel Submariner, I predict that 2020 will not be your year. What about the models that didn't see price increases, especially the Explorer? Does that mean that I think that they have something new in the works? Well, I do wish that they would reintroduce a 36mm version of that watch, but I don't think they have anything new coming out for that model. I think they just wanted to leave some prices unchanged to offset the higher prices on the other watches, keeping the overall average increase down. All right, guys, that'll wrap this one up for today. As always, thanks for tuning in and checking out the video. I appreciate it. Big thanks to today's video sponsor, Wrist Candy Watch Club. Go over to their website and check them out, and don't forget to leave a comment down below with the hashtag WCW to enter the giveaway to win some assorted free straps. And with that, I'll go ahead, sign off, and say bye now.